eating. Do you eat soup or do you drink soup? I think eating. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a little bit of a different video. Instead of going through and talking about my experience getting braces on in the first day or two, I would actually do a top 10 list. So these are the top 10 things that I got right and wrong about getting braces. So the first thing that I got right was that I wouldn't be able to eat solid foods. I knew going into this that I was gonna have a primarily liquid diet at first, and I definitely have. I am on my 4th day with braces and I'm still needing to eat mainly liquids. I've kind of figured out how to chew a little bit using the very back molars, but for the most part I stick to liquid. And I'm also trying to not remove my bands very much, so liquid helps a lot with that. So a lot of yogurt and just smoothies, drinks, soups, anything I don't really have to chew on. The second thing that I got right was that it would change my face shape. And this was something I figured just because when I had talked to the orthodontist assistant when I had my consultation, she mentioned that having the clear brackets on top actually makes your top lip stick out. And so it causes your mouth to change a little bit and it gives you a lip filler type look, which I'm not mad about that. Going with the clear on the top, I kind of figured it would change, and it has. My jaw, even on the 4th day, is already beginning to change. The place where my teeth sit is starting to transition, and so it is causing a little bit of change in my jaw. The third thing that I got right was that it would take longer to clean my teeth, and boy does it. My whole entire routine is water pick, toothbrush and toothpaste, flossing, water pick again, and then mouthwash. And the whole thing takes me about 15 minutes. Once I get used to it and more into doing the routine, I'm sure it will change. But right now, it does take a while to do my teeth cleaning, which I figured everyone always says flossing takes the longest, and it really does. The fourth thing that I got right about getting braces is that it would be painful. And it is really painful. I have a pretty high pain tolerance, and I went into this thinking it was going to be like a really sore, toothache kind of feel. And it does feel like that, but on a very extreme level. And because I have bands and springs in my front teeth, it's just a whole lot going on. And there's a lot of change happening rapidly. And it's causing quite a bit of pain. So I've been sticking to Tylenol and just trying to continue to intake cold foods and cold drinks to try and give my mouth some relief, and just stay on top of using the wax on my brackets because my lips are all torn up. My tongue has a sore on it from the turbo bites in the back. The fifth thing that I got right was that I would end up having bands. At the consultation, they had talked about how bands would be in my future, but I had a feeling that they were going to throw the bands at me at my very first appointment, and they did. Part of that is because they're trying to get this part of my treatment done as fast as possible in order to get me into clear aligners. And so by throwing the bands and the springs and everything at me all at once, just trying to number 6 is something that I got wrong, and that is how painful it would be to have the brackets applied. I feel a little deceived in this area because everything I heard on YouTube, everything I read, always said getting the braces on doesn't hurt. It's a couple hours afterwards. And I think I just have really sensitive teeth because they use like a glue and then they put your bracket on top of it and they cure it with a blue light. And every time that blue light hit my tooth, it was instant pain. And I don't know if that's something that most people experience and I'm just wimpier than I thought, or if it's unique to me. So let me know down below if you've had that happen as well. But that was painful. Getting the wire in didn't hurt, but once I started doing the bands and going around, tightening it and going around again, every time it was just instant pressure in my mouth. And I could almost feel like the soreness beginning before I even left the orthodontist office. So it was way more painful than I thought. What are you gonna do? The second thing that I got wrong was how fast changes would happen. My mind is so blown. I cannot believe how fast things are happening. Let me put an image up here. So the one on the left is from the day I got them, so right after I left the orthodontist. And the one on the right is the very next day. So if you can see, the spring is looser in the right photo than the left. And there is also some movement on my bottom tooth, which is a little hard to see in that. It's been 3 days now since that picture, and my springs are even looser and more apart. This tooth has almost moved over, and this tooth has straightened a little bit. So changes are happening. Like I mentioned earlier, my bite has changed. So things are happening so fast. I thought it would be months before I would see any big changes, and that's not the case at all. Number 8, and something that I got wrong, was that even soup would be hard to eat. Even eating, do you eat soup or do you drink soup? I think eating. Even ingesting soup is not comfortable. When I crunch down on something and forget about my bite turbos, and I'll insert an image here of my bite turbos. They're right under my front teeth to stop me from biting off my bottom brackets, because I have a little bit of a overhang on my front teeth. And so every time I bite down and forget they're there, my teeth are sore. So it's a painful mess. So I'm eating very, very slowly and very carefully. The 9th thing that I got wrong is how difficult bands would be to put in. The bands are more difficult than I thought they would be to put into my mouth. It's hard to get them hooked in the first place and then keep them hooked while I bring them up and over. And honestly, that's partly why I've stuck so much to liquids, is I just really don't want to take my bands out. And I don't know if you're supposed to eat with them in. I try to keep them in as much as possible unless I'm really like chewing something, then I take them out. Yeah, the bands are definitely a little more challenging than I thought they were gonna be. I'm getting better. I can now get them in only with a couple of fails, but definitely not easy. And the 10th thing, and the thing I got wrong, is that my speech impediment would get worse. This one is really my most self-conscious change when it comes to braces. Is I'm having to relearn where to place my tongue since I have those bite turbos. So it's giving me a lisp, and it's made it so that when I talk, people are having kind of a hard time at first understanding what I'm saying. And then it makes me self-conscious, and it just reminds me of back when my speech impediment was really, really bad before I got speech therapy. And so I'm hoping that this changes with time, that I'll relearn how to pronounce the S's and TH's. But so I got 2 questions, one in a comment in the last video and then one that I got on Facebook, and so I wanted to cover both of those. So one of the questions was, am I guilty about the financial aspect of getting braces? The answer is yes and no. The mom guilt in me is a little strong. We are on a journey right now to pay off our loans we might have, and so it's been a bit of a struggle mentally to know that we just added back onto that. And although we have a plan to pay off the braces pretty fast, my implants are really expensive and insurance doesn't cover it, so that will be the more expensive part of my whole journey. So there is a little bit of guilt there, but at the same time, my husband is supportive, my family is supportive, and they all know this is something that has really bothered me growing up and throughout my adult life. So what is my treatment plan was the next question. And the first part of my treatment plan is braces. So we're gonna have braces on till my teeth move to where they need to be, my canines, and my bite begins to change. And then I'm gonna switch to clear aligners. So hopefully in 6 to 9 months, I'll be in clear aligners. I will be in those for the rest of my treatment. And that is just gonna help to actually do the straightening of my teeth. Then I will be getting those out, and I'll be going in for dental implants. And that, I'm not sure how long that's gonna take yet. I'm assuming it'll be over a course of like a couple of weeks. I don't know if they wanna do all 3 at once or what that looks like. But it should happen fairly quickly once I start that process. And then the last thing is just retainers and keeping up with the beautiful smile that I will have. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a little different. Let me know what you thought about it. And if you want more in depth about my braces, then let me know. I plan on doing a 1 week update on Monday. And then from there, we'll go to 1 month update or as things drastically change. I also plan on coming out with a weight related video soon, so make sure to give this video a like if you enjoyed it and to subscribe to my channel to see more updates about my braces and just overall my journey to self-confidence. Go get yourself a hot or iced coffee, and until next time, I'll see you later.